Hi. This is an interview with John Murphy, a member of the CJs.
Hi.
So, John, how long have you been in the band for?
Well, the band started back in in the very early 60s. I must point out, in the very early days, we were called the Falcons then, which we were very popular back in London. But as time went on, there were other bands coming out with the same name. And some of the bands that we was told about, wasn't very good. So in the end, through management and everything, we decided to change our name. And it must have been somewhere back in 1963 to the CJs. And they're now obviously, all our local people that knew us from back down in London, obviously accepted us as the CJs. We were together right up until the very early 70s, and obviously, things happen, unfortunately, and we ended up drifting apart, back in the late 70s, and we in the very early days we did do an early album of all our own stuff. We was writing our own music, which we done a very early album, and and we. Time went on. Unfortunately, we just parted and went our own separate ways, and that was that.
Yeah. So, why change the name and why to the CJs? Like, why did you change it? How did you come up with the name, the CJs?
We all got together when we decided we needed to change our name. Because Colin, which obviously was the rhythm guitarist of the band, me and Cole used to write most of all our own stuff that we were recording at the time. And what we came up one evening when we said, we have got to change our name. Colin came up with the idea of Colin being C, and because me and him were quite close in writing music and everything, and Jay. So what we done then, we said, well, okay, we'll call ourselves the CJs. So that's the name that we actually changed it to, and it's the way it's spelt, as I say, CEE apostrophe dash JAYS, the CJs, and we kept that name ever since,
Yeah, and how did the band first meet?
I was with a few bands before I went with the CJs. Obviously, I wanted to improve myself, and as we say in the business, go up the ladder. In the New Musical Express, which used to be a local paper, well, not local paper, it was all over the UK. There were sections in there they advertised for different members of bands wanted guitarists.
Yeah.
Actually, they were advertising for a lead guitarist, which I obviously was at the time. And I rang them, went down for an interview, and had an audition, which they auditioned many guitarists. Yeah. And I was lucky enough that they accepted me.
Yeah, and what inspired you personally to take up the career in the music and singing industry?
It would be like many people that have joined bands and wanted to play music back in the 60s. It was an absolutely terrific era. Because of Cliff Richard and the Shadows, they were, in the early 60s, they were coming onto the scene. And when the Shadows released Apache, I think that was the takeoff. Everybody wanted to play a guitar and make a sound, like the Shadows. And it was fantastic. And I've been very privileged, really. I've met the Shadows several times, since I've been playing. But that was the inspiration of all the bands that were coming out. Everybody, wanted to go to a shop and buy a guitar and play in a band.
Yeah, but because you've been dormant so long, the band itself, what was the reason for that? I mean, why did you decide to go dormant for so long?
It again, when you're playing and you're virtually, you are working together. You become just work partners.
Yeah.
Really. But obviously, like everyone that goes to work, they have got a manager, which is your boss.
Yeah.
We had a manager, and there were some things that went on behind our backs that I didn't like at the time, and I thought it was, he lost us good chances to even get further up the ladder in our career, and so obviously there were things said, and and the band, we packed up amicable. There was no bad feelings between us and the band. I was very sad when the band actually, when we did break up, and it affected me that much. I felt, not that it wasn't, I had many offers to go with other bands.
Yeah.
But when you've been together for so long, writing music and playing together in gigs all over the country, I found that I don't think I could play with anyone else.
Yeah. Did you ever, during the time the CJs were apart, did you ever go into any solo work or?
No, I must admit I didn't. I've always kept my guitar. I've always had a guitar, and I used to play mainly sociably. There'd be an evening I'll go to the bedroom, plug my guitar in, put a track on, and just play to it. Kept my hand in bits and pieces, sort of thing, and that. But I've always loved, music, and I've always enjoyed and loved playing music as well, And
after so long, why do you believe the CJs got together, and why did you regroup at the CJs?
That was very funny, really, because above my computer in my house, I've got obviously a picture of the band. When back in the 60s, when obviously we were rocking teenagers, and I've often said to my wife, I wonder what the lads are doing today. Love to make contact again, but obviously we're looking at nearly 50 years since we were all together. None of us obviously knew where each other were. And funny enough, it was my son-in-law, one Easter a couple of years ago, he was looking and he said to me, the chap on the end, I think you said his name's Colin, he said, have you ever tried to look for him on Facebook? So I said no. This is the reason how this all happened again. He typed in and he said, there's a picture there of a guy, he said, it looks like the guy you've got in the picture, but obviously a lot older now. And he did leave him a message, and lo and behold, we were lucky, and cut a long story short, it was Colin of the band again. And within a half an hour of finding each other again, we were on the phone. It was really, really great, to speak to him again.
Yeah. And in your opinion, what did it feel like to have the band back together? Was it like old times?
Well, there's only two of us back together. When, obviously, the longer I stayed in contact with Colin, he just finished writing an album, which obviously is the album that I've just finished recording, Coin Him a Cup. He asked me if I would like to record this album. I wasn't reluctant. I felt very nervous, but honoured to go and do this album, but not playing the guitar professionally for nearly 45 years plus. I was very, very nervous. This is again how it came about. But we were very lucky because our producer, Alex Wordsworth, he got some guys together in the studio, which helped us to record the album. And plus the fact on the new album is Strings, which is a girl from the London Philharmonic called Rose Toms, and some of her friends who Colin knew, and they came along to the studio and helped us on the album as well. So we had probably, you know, a lot of people down to our producer, like, you know.
Yeah. And like you said, you've got Coin in My Cup out. Can we hope to see any more of your CDs releases out in future?
I think so. Colin, I was speaking to him the other evening, obviously because he lives down in London, and he said that would I be interested in doing something in the new year, in 2014. So he said, I've got some good stuff written, which would be, I think, a little bit more upmarket, beatier than Coin in My Cup, which is obviously produced as an easy listening album, like, you know, sort of thing. So he said, would you be interested, like, you know, so it's a bit of hard work now for me living up in Merseyside because I have to escape down to London and for a few days and record the album back in the studio, you know, back in London. So hopefully there's going to be we're going to try and do a new album for the new year, like, you know, and that, which will be, as I say, a lot different from Coin in My Cup.
Okay, so thank you for doing this interview, and
that's okay. You're welcome.
And hope to hear of you more in the New Year's to come.
Yeah, and tell all your friends.
I will.